Alright guys, welcome back to another weekly episode where we will be reviewing / reacting to Shangri-La. It's just Shangri-La, right?
Frontier,
yeah.
Sure.
So, episode,
we know what we're talking about.
Episode 13. So, here we go. Alright guys, so this week we're getting into episode 13. We all watched it. We were all
present.
Yeah, we're all just kind of, waiting for something cool to happen again, I feel like.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing that happened was that whole fight with the aberrant woodsman. That woodsman fight was the best part so far in Shangri-La Frontier. For me. Back in episode 7, I think, or 8.
Something like that.
The aberrant woodsman.
Just in this episode, you get just a bunch of story in here. There's no action at all. So you find out the story for Lakugan, and kind of a little bit of backstory, what makes him
Weatherman.
Oh, Weatherman, sorry.
Yeah.
Lakugan's the main
the
one,
wolf,
right?
yeah.
Digivolve
So
version. Yes.
so you find out his backstory a little bit. They basically get the quest to start the mission. On their way to defeat him.
Sechan.
And just in this episode, you basically just get a little bit more backstory also, because in a portion of this, I forget what the main character's...
Sunraku?
Rakura, his human form name. So you get to see him out of the game for a little bit, and you get a little bit more story and how on Sundays...
Baddie bomb.
How on Sundays they all have to hang out with each other
his
because
sister.
Ooh, that's
Japan.
But anyways, they all have to hang out with each other on Sundays like a good little family because they all get entangled in their own hobbies and stuff like that. So
does his dad leave them for like a week at a time or something?
He goes fishing.
He comes back on Sundays.
He loves
He
fishing.
goes fishing.
Yeah.
What who supports this family? I don't know.
It's definitely the dad. The dad definitely fishes for money at this point, right?
Or the mom's like a scientist or something, right? Or like what's the bug scientist?
Whatever she's doing, etymologist,
something like that.
Whatever she's doing, she should be doing hentai.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans, hentai, whatever, something else, because she's a mom.
Yeah.
In anime,
like that apron ain't covering much.
There is a rule for moms in anime: you are hot unless you're Deku's mom. But there's always hot moms.
She's kind of...
When she was younger, not now.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of fits a certain category, though. She's kind of like chubby.
Yeah, ugly. Yeah. Oh. Ugly bastard. That's the category she's in.
Wow.
Yeah. So what did y'all... Is there anything special that y'all take away from this episode, really? Or
I mean, this episode was really just a lot of exposition. We got a lot about Weatherman. I don't know which one they want to say. I think the translation is different. It's either Weatherman or Wezaman with a Z. It's one of those because it keeps on switching. So, but we get that. We see Setsuna, the girl that talked to them.
Yeah.
What was she doing? She was giving unnecessary information?
She's pretty much starting the quest. That was the whole point. You have quest dialogue, but it was kind of weird when she was talking. She even what's his name? The main character,
Rakura.
Rakura. Yeah, he kind of catches it too that she says these weird phrases. She said, "Program her clothing is kind of modern." But then he might have hinted that that's the beginning of the whole world building, is that they were high tech and they went down to this planet.
Yeah, they became this.
Right. So she kind of said some weird stuff, and she also hinted at him being very special because he has 2 markings. Right. I don't know the name she said, and then she said talking about the bunny, how she's Cinderella's daughter.
Yeah, she said a very weird phrasing of it, but she recognized Sunraku and Emule pretty quickly.
Right. They're special.
Yeah,
They're special.
That makes us think, okay, if you're a program that's created by someone,
right?
You are a program that's created in a game to do a task. How do you have memories?
Right.
How do you have memories?
It feels like, so a lot of these programs feel like they're maybe AI, They develop their own...
They've kept gaining knowledge since they were...
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the gist that I'm kind of getting.
Especially with remember the whole computer thing? We got to see the computer.
Right, Bakugan is the first.
Yeah, the first beast release. Do y'all think maybe there's some kind of program? Are we getting Sword Art Online? Did somebody take over Shangri-La Frontier?
The program itself, the actual game is starting to become alive.
Was it Kirito?
Is
he getting his revenge?
I don't know.
But that's kind of what I feel like we're gonna get that because they keep talking about Shangri-La Frontier and like we get these little moments of the program of like the meta of the outside the game. So I do think that's gonna be a factor. I think we're gonna get like somebody being a baddie in the world.
I think so. Or like Sword Art, there's gonna be a programmer who happens to go up to the main character and say, "Hey, do you notice anything wrong with the game? Like, have you noticed anything strange?" You know, I think that's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah,
some point.
What do y'all think about the that fight at the end? When he went back into the older
Berserk.
game, so he goes back into Berserk, and then he finds a new player in Berserk because he goes to Berserk in order to train, and to train for Weathermon.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up finding this new character,
which is rare.
Yeah, because this is an older game, so
it's kind of dead.
Yeah,
it's an older dead game, so you really don't ever have new characters. You just kind of the people that are usually there. So he finds this newer character, and he ends up sparring with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
glitchy spar. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to see kind of a battle and what that game would look like opposed to Shangri-La.
Right.
So what do y'all think about this new character?
Go first.
I really hope that it goes somewhere. Because if they just introduce this guy just for Sunraku to fight somebody else just real quick and then we never see him again, I'm gonna start getting kind of pissed at the anime. Cause
right.
I feel like they're almost adding filler into the anime.
Kinda.
It almost feels like they're stretching parts out that nobody gives a shit about to like pad out the anime and make more story in there.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm getting the feeling of, and it's from this. It's also from the part wherever he was in the beginning, how they had the whole like training part. That whole scene where he learned the system and learned the Vorpal bunnies and all that.
Right.
It almost felt padded, almost. Like it felt slow. I'm happy they gave it to us, but to me, that's what it feels like. Paul?
One, I'm gonna push back on that real quick. The whole Vorpal bunny quest line.
It was important. I'm not
gonna
lie.
Even he said nobody's ever even seen.
It was important.
Those things. So
it was.
Coming off of that, I'm gonna answer your question with another question, but also one statement. The fact that it ended on that fight tells me he's more important than just a throwaway character.
He better be.
And also, does he look like a throwaway character to you? Like a normal bald guy that's just passing by? He has eyebrows. He looks real like his hair's different. You know
so he actually seemed like a decent gamer, also.
Right.
Because exactly. He knew glitches, so not just regular gamers. Kind of play that play style. It feels like so.
Right.
He's got to end up becoming some sort of asset, either to where he's gonna be like, after they fight or something, they're gonna meet up in Shangri-La or something, or he's gonna end up finding out who he is in Shangri-La.
He's too well drawn to be a throwaway character.
Here's why I think he's a throwaway character, because he's not in the opening credit song.
We don't know that.
Even the attack master is, and she's barely seen.
That's true.
I don't remember seeing
realize
this
how busty she was until she was writing that letter and she was just like her chest was over that paper. So I just want to one more point though. I'm happy that he's actually gonna go link his skills up. He's gonna go.
He mentioned it.
Hopefully that's the whole next episode probably.
I think this show needs to do a better job at having the balance between if you're gonna be a game, lean into the game, or tell the story of a great story. They're kind of jumping between the both, and it's like making me lose. I forgot about that shit. The link, because it's like, the link
real
thing.
Quick. It was fast.
Because the Weathermon thing got me kind of invested.
Right.
Like I was like, oh cool, there's some story behind this.
Colossi, yeah.
And I forgot about the whole gaming aspect because they're not really doing a good job.
I will give you that the whole family introduction was unnecessary.
Yeah, I hated that.
I hated unnecessary.
I hated that.
What I would say also is that there's a bunch of meaning. They have a bunch of different games, and they show a bunch of games. Mm-hmm. I wish they wouldn't show as many games. Maybe they would just briefly
just mention them.
Yeah, just briefly talk about them because then you kind of like Shangri-La is kind of.
It should be the focus.
Exactly. And you have all these other games that you have to worry about some of the details of those games. Like this game is laggy, and you can do this in this game.
Why did you have to go to Berserk to have that meeting with Penzelgon? Why couldn't you have that meeting?
Yeah,
in Shangri-La?
Okay, because they probably weren't friends yet.
Send me a friend request. You have my name.
But we don't know. We don't know the UI of this. How this
I just think that it should focus more on the one game instead of bringing other games into the mix and kind of having to learn the rules of those games.
Yeah, they could have just mentioned it once, said it once, and then moved on. But they do keep going back, and it's kind of weird. That's kind of also part of the padding. Yeah, y'all could have had that conversation in Shangri-La.
Right.
So it's like, why go to? Yeah, I get that. I mean, all in all, good, a solid episode. We didn't mention also that the whole entrance to the Weathermon thing was still like a hidden thing in the grotto, a hidden entrance, which is cool. Yeah, little game detail. And also,
what's her name? Pencilgon is
Pencilgon.
She's actually human.
She's a human. She's a woman. She's a very woman. She's womaned up. She's actually a real life model, right?
Yeah,
she's bodied out.
Yeah, that was covered in one of the previous episodes.
It was. We did mention that.
But she actually cares. At first, you think she's cold and calculating and a PK,
right?
But she's actually fallen in love with this game as far as the NPC and the world itself.
Yeah,
which is special, I think.
So you learn sometimes she can have a heart.
That's right. Yeah.
Guys,
you guys are just as crazy as me.
Yeah, I hate those cringe moments. We're SMP, guys. Keep following with us. I think the season's going to be coming to a close partway through pretty soon, but we're going to be here with it. Mm-hmm. React with us, review with us, enjoy with us. Season of the People, we're out.